So our first sighting of the defending Olympic bantamweight champion, the 54-kilogram division, and the man all in red representing Cuba he's just 23 years of age, Guillermo RIGONDEAUX Ortiz. Rigondeaux, we'll call him. Won the gold medal for Cuba 4 years ago in Sydney, and a year later he became the world champion in Belfast. Didn't have too much luck in the world championships of last year, was beaten by the eventual gold medalist Mamedov from Azerbaijan. His opponent, incidentally, is the 24-year-old from China, Juan Liu. So Cuba in red, China in blue, bantamweight the division, and the man in red is the defending Olympic champion. Nice and patient stuff at this early stage from Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. 2 points up now.
What a super shot that was, round the guard of the Chinese fighter from RIGONDEAUX. Superb, very quick, whipped it in. And with his hand quite low, then it's hard to see that punch, because it actually starts off from his hips, more or less, but whips it in around the guard. Great little shot.
He uses that southpaw right of his very effectively, not just in terms of attack, but in terms of defense, by keeping his man away from him. There's that quick left coming across, didn't land that time. You get the feeling that RIGONDEAUX is looking for a big shot here. The man who beat him in last year's World Championship.
Well, good work from RIGONDEAUX. Totally in control. And there's that shot there. Super.
Delivered with the speed of a striking snake.
Yeah, very. Well, what he did there, he actually, just prior to that, he went for the body, a little feint to the body, and that made the Chinese fighter think, well, is he going downstairs? And then he whips it over the top and catches his opponent.
A very gentle start for the defending Olympic bantamweight champion, Guillermo RIGONDEAUX from Cuba in the red. He's conceded a point at the start of the second round, having outscored his opponent Juan Liu from China 4-0 in the opening round. Can't quite match the hand speed though of RIGONDEAUX. Into the body yet again, does that so beautifully, and again there's that round the corner right hand, just clips his man around the ear, but it's considered a scoring punch by the judges at ringside.
What RIGONDEAUX is doing here is just doing total counter punching on the back foot, waiting for his opponent. His reactions are so good. His vision is superb. Whips that right hook in. There it is again. Oh, superb boxing. But you've got to get the timing spot on. And with the Cubans, there's not many things they don't do well.
And Russia, well, were the more successful nation of the two in the World Championships in Bangkok last year. And the Cubans have been stung by the criticism. And a lot of people saying is Cuban boxing on the slide, and they've come here to Athens determined to throw that back in a few faces.
That's what I like about the Cubans. They seemed sometimes, I mean, this guy looks a little bit lazy, and then all of a sudden he looks slow, and then he can just explode into punching, and the punches are so fast, accurate, powerful, and his footwork, look how he just eases out of the way there. Superb.
Well, Liu is boxing very cleverly, because he's actually, although he's showing him a fair degree of respect, he's not overawed. Oh, fast hands once again from RIGONDEAUX right at the end of the round, and landed with rights and lefts, and has turned this one round again. 4-0, then 7-2. So he's getting better all the time.
Yeah, some great boxing there, just bringing his opponent onto a little left uppercut there, but there's that right hand, and there's the left uppercut. Great vision, and just keeps the gap. Doesn't want to work on the inside. He'd much rather work at medium and long range and keep the guy at bay, because he's got superior skills. And if we look...
Now this is interesting. Guillermo RIGONDEAUX from Cuba in the red, the defending Olympic champion, has come out pretty briskly at the start of this round. He had a very quiet opening round. RIGONDEAUX won the gold at the Pan American Games away last year. Beat Abner Mares of Mexico to qualify here for Athens, hoping to emulate his great feats in Sydney of 4 years ago.
Again, great defensive skills from the Cuban. Liu, he must be so frustrating for him because he's trying different things. He's trying to pin his man down, but it's a case of if you make a mistake against the Cubans, you get punished, and that's what Liu. If he makes any mistakes here, he's getting caught with shots.
Eric Drecker has said, come on, let's get on with the boxing. We've gone for a minute and a half, and that's the first scoring shot and 2 in a row that RIGONDEAUX landed. And he was being very negative, which has got to be the front of the side of the head. Little glimpses there, and I just get the feeling he's keeping so much in reserve.
He certainly is. I mean, he's just working. He's just dictating and controlling the fight with the pace. And especially the distance. He's just keeping his distance from this guy. This is the Olympics. You know, he's got to try something different. But it must be frustrating for him because he's a good fighter himself, but he's just in with a guy who is at the very top.
A close third round in which the man from the blue corner ran the man from the red corner pretty evenly. 10 points up, though, the defending Olympic champion from Cuba in this bantamweight division, Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. Guan Liu from China has put in a more than good performance, and against any other boxer than RIGONDEAUX, he probably would have got close enough to him to score. RIGONDEAUX, well, you may think he was being a little bit on the negative side. He hasn't stood still long enough. And I guess the old adage in boxing, oh, look at that, 1, 2, 3, hello, now you see me, now you don't. Belfast 3 years ago, and before that in Sydney. Good solid body shot by RIGONDEAUX, just delivered it beautifully with the left hand. It's very hard to judge this performance by RIGONDEAUX, because you could say, well, he's been unconvincing because he hasn't got the man out of the way early on, but he's obviously trying to just ease himself into this tournament.
Yeah, he's just in second gear, he really is, and that footwork earlier was just absolutely superb, you've got to say. So classy. Never flustered in any real way. And we look at him here. Superb shots there going in from him.
3 in a row, all of them scored. 19-6 to RIGONDEAUX. So maybe he's just letting 1 or 2 opponents think that that's all he's got. They know better than that. He's got lots more. Such hand speed.
Can produce that footwork that we've seen earlier. To be a great amateur, you've got to be able to do it all, and this kid can.
And there's a serious touch of arrogance about him as well. Well, he's coasted this one. The defending Olympic champion, RIGONDEAUX, 21-7. Guan Liu from China. Well, I've learned a bit from that one, but this fella hasn't even broken sweat, and he hasn't even bothered smiling, and he knows that he's got plenty more to come. Never going to be any great doubt as to who was going to win this contest.